Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Wildlife Wisdom. So far, I've been your host, Zero Yeti. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing of the week being Eleophus rosi capilla, better known as the Gala, the pink and gray cockatoo, the Gala cockatoo, or the rose-breasted cockatoo. It is an Australian species of cockatoo and the only member of the genus Eleophus. The Gala is adapted to a wide variety of modified and unmodified habitats and is one of mainland Australia's most abundant and widespread bird species, which has also been introduced to the island of Tasmania and the Auckland area of New Zealand. Galahs are social birds, which often live in flocks of anywhere from 10 to 1,000 individuals. They are also known to regularly form mixed flocks with the pink cockatoo, the little corella, and the sulphur-crested cockatoo. Galahs typically feed upon seeds, grains, nuts, leaves, fruit, bark, and less often upon insects and worms. Gulls are themselves eaten by large snakes, monitor lizards, falcons, and little eagles. Reaching around 14 inches or 35 centimeters in length and 10 to 12 ounces or 270 to 350 grams in weight, with a 30-inch or 75 centimeter long wingspan, the Gala is a robustly built medium-sized cockatoo. It has a pale silver to gray back, a pale gray rump, a pink face and breast, and a pink mobile crest. It has a bone-colored beak and gray legs. The sexes appear similar, however, adult birds differ in color of the irises. The male has very dark brown, almost black irises, and the female has mid-brown or red irises. Galahs typically mate for life, and they nest in tree cavities, where the mother will lay 2 to 5 eggs, which are incubated in shifts by both parents for around 25 days. The youngs leave the nest at around 49 days after hatching, and under ideal conditions, a Gala may live upwards of 70 years. Next up, we have Lesothosaurus. It is a monospecific genus of ornithischian dinosaur that lived throughout what is today Lesotho and South Africa during the early Jurassic period, some 200 to 190 million years ago. The first fossils now known to belong to Lesothosaurus, consisting of the right dentiary, which was collected by French geologist Jean Fabre from the red beds of the Upper Elliott Formation near Mafeking in Lesotho. The dentary was described as the holotype of a new genus and species, Fabrosaurus australis, by paleontologist Leonard Ginsberg in 1964. Due to its fragmentary nature, Fabrosaurus is now seen as a nomen dubium, with the holotype now being assigned to Lesothosaurus. The name Lesothosaurus would not be coined until 1978, when, following several expeditions by the London University College to Lesotho throughout the 1960s, recovered the remains of multiple individuals, including several well-preserved skulls. These remains were given the name Lesothosaurus diagnosticus by British paleontologist Peter Galton. The generic name Lesothosaurus is derived from the kingdom of Lesotho, where the fossils were discovered, and the Latin root sauros, meaning lizard, a root commonly used in dinosaur names. The specific name Diagnosticus is derived from the Greek root diagnostikos, meaning distinguished, in reference to Lesothosaurus being a distinct member of the Fabrosauridae. Since then, several more specimens of Lesothosaurus, including a near-complete articulated skeleton, have been unearthed, and reach around 3.3 to 6.6 feet, or 1 to 2 meters in length. Lesothosaurus was a lightly built bipedal animal, which represents one of the earliest ornithischians. Its long, slender legs, small arms with hands that would not have been able to grasp properly, and a slender tail all suggest that it was a fast runner. Like many ornithischians, the tips of Lesothosaurus' upper and lower jaws formed a beak-like structure, and behind the beak were leaf-shaped teeth that lined the jaws. Next up, we have Teleomya petroli, better known as the petroleum fly, is a species of fly endemic to the U.S. state of California, where it inhabits the area in and around naturally occurring petroleum pools, such as the famous La Brea tar pits. They are remarkably unique animals, as their larvae are the only known animal to regularly live within tar pits, often found swimming near the surface and feeding upon dead insects, arthropods, and other animals, which have become trapped in the asphalt. This gives the larvae essentially a monopoly on its food source, as well as protection from predators and parasites. Said larvae only leave the oil to pupate into adults, traveling nearby grass stems on the margins of the pool. As adults, petroleum flies mainly eat decaying plant material and organic liquids. Reach around 0.2 inches or 5 millimeters in length. Adults sport black bodies except for their lighter cheeks. The halteres are yellowish with white knobs. The densely hairy eyes are nearest at the middle of the face. The third joint of the antenna is slightly longer than the second, and the spine of the latter not reaching beyond the apex of the antenna. The hyaline wings are tinged with gray and nearly the entire costal half, except sometimes having a spot towards the apex of the submarginal cell. The mating habits of the petroleum fly are not well understood, but it is believed to breed year-round, with females depositing eggs likely on plants near the margins of the tar pools. Next up, we have Hydrocynus Goliath, better known as the Goliath tigerfish, the giant tigerfish, or the Mbinga. It is a species of large African predatory freshwater fish in the family Alestiidae. It can be found throughout the Congo River basin, the Lualaba River, Lake Mbimba, and Lake Tanganyika. Here they tend to prefer highly oxygenated, fast-flowing waters, such as those found in deep river channels and open lakes. The Goliath tigerfish is a piscivore, feeding upon any fish it can overpower, including smaller members of the same species. They are also known to attack larger animals, taking chunks out of large fish, crocodiles, hippos, antelope, humans, and other animals. Goliath tigerfish are themselves preyed upon by crocodiles, reaching an average of 4.9 feet or 1.5 meters in length and 110 pounds or 50 kilograms in weight, with large individuals reaching 6.6 feet or 2 meters and 154 pounds or 70 kilograms, not being rare but not unheard of. These large predatory fish sport a characteristic silver-gray dorsum and flanks, with a thuniform body plan similar to that of tuna, featuring black adipose fins. The most distinctive feature of the Goliath tigerfish is that of its massive jaws filled with incredibly large conical teeth. Said teeth are shaped like daggers and fit into distinct grooves along the jaws, interlocking together with the smallest teeth found at the very back of the jaws. Despite being mostly solitary hunters, female Goliath tigerfish migrate together and breed near each other on the riverbanks or lake shores. Thousands of eggs are laid among the thick vegetation to protect the eggs and the young from predators, given that Goliath tigerfish do not provide parental care. Infant fish feed on animal plankton during their larval stage before transitioning to small fish and eventually an adult diet of larger fish. Juvenile fish grow quite slowly, averaging around 4 to 6 inches or 10.2 to 15.2 centimeters of growth per year. Under ideal conditions, a Goliath tigerfish may reach their mature around 6 to 10 years of age and live upwards of 20. Next up, we have Eublepharis macularis, better known as the leopard gecko or common leopard gecko, is a species of ground-dwelling gecko native primarily to the rocky grassland and desert regions of Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, India, and Nepal. Here they tend to prefer habitats with clay-like soils or rocky crevices, in which they can burrow and hide. Leopard geckos are generally solitary lizards, which tend to spend their days resting, emerging at night resting and emerging at night to hunt all manner of invertebrates, as well as the occasional mouse pup, hatchling bird, or smaller reptile. Leopard geckos are themselves preyed upon by snakes, foxes, monitor lizards, birds of prey, and large arachnids. During winter, leopard geckos are known to brumate for months on end. Males are typically larger, reach around 7.9 to 11 inches or 20 to 28 centimeters in length, and 21 to 28, not 21, 2.1 to 2.8 ounces or 60 to 80 grams in weight. Sorry, my vision went blurry. Compared to females, which reach around 7.1 to 7.9 inches or 18 to 20 centimeters, and around 1.8 to 2.5 ounces or 50 to 70 grams. Leopard geckos sport large triangular heads, elongate bodies, and short, well-built legs, as well as large, thick, fatty tails. Like most geckos, leopard geckos have the ability called autotomy, autotomy, and their tails can regenerate when lost. However, the regenerated tails appear stumpy and never have quite the same appearance as the original tail. Unlike many other species of gecko, leopard geckos uh, do not have the toes of leopard geckos do not have adhesive lamellae, so they cannot climb smooth vertical walls. Wild leopard geckos range in color from yellow to brownish orange, with spots covering all or mostly half of the dorsal region of the body. Leopard geckos are one of the most popular lizard pets and are considered to be the first domesticated lizard species. And through extensive captive breeding and artificial selection, captive animals display a range of colors and patterns. Leopard geckos typically breed in summer, and females can store sperm over the course of their breeding season and produce up to 3 clutches from 1 or 2 copulations. Females lay about 6 to 8 clutches of 2 eggs approximately 21 to 28 days after mating. The eggs hatch after incubating some 35 to 89 days, depending on the local temperature and climate. Under ideal conditions, a leopard gecko may live upwards of 20 years. Next up, we have Jehalopterus, a genus of small arugognathid pterosaur, which lived throughout what is today Mongolia, China, and possibly North Korea during the Jurassic period, some 168 to 260 million years ago. The first fossil of Jehalopterus, consisting of a nearly complete, albeit crushed skeleton, which was found in the Dao beds in Ningqing County in the Ni Mongol or Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region of China. The specimen is consisting of a slab and counterslab pair, so that the parts of the specimen are preserved on one side of a split stone and some on the other. This includes exquisite preservation of the wing membrane and carbonized skin fibers and pycnofibers. In 2002, the fossil was described by Wang Xiaolin, Zhao Zhonghe, and Yu Jing, who named the animal Jehalopterus ningqingensis. The genus name is derived from its place of discovery, Jehel in China, and a Latinized Greek pteron meaning wing. The specific name refers to Ningqing County. Another articulated specimen was discovered no later than 2009 in the early Cretaceous Sin-Yuji Formation of North Korea and represents the first Cretaceous record of Jehalopterus. The skull had a very short, rounded snout lined with numerous short, sharp teeth. The eyes were large, and in life the face would have looked something similar to a Muppet. The neck was unusually short compared to other pterosaurs, being only about the length of the skull. Roughly the roughly 32-inch or 80 centimeter long wings are robust, with 3 fingers that bear unusually large claws. The legs are incompletely preserved, and the tail was not found. Like other arachnidans, Jalopterus is thought to have been a primarily nocturnal acrobatic aerial insect hunter, uh, occupying a niche similar to modern bats, swifts, swallows, and nightjars. And our final animal of the week is Eschtrichtius robustus, better known as the gray whale, desert whale, devilfish, grayback, mussel digger, and ripsack, is a species of baleen whale, which is the sole living species in the genus Eschtrichtius in the family Eschtrichtiidae. The gray whale lives throughout the northern Pacific Ocean, with distinct populations occurring along the western coast of North America and the eastern coast of Asia. Additionally, gray whales once occurred throughout much of the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea, but were hunted to local extinction by the whaling industry. They get the nickname devilfish by such whalers for how aggressively they would fight once harpooned, to the point they would regularly sink whaling boats. Gray whales are highly social animals, which live in small, loosely organized pods of 3 to 16 individuals. Somewhat unique amongst baleen whales, gray whales are primarily benthic feeders, which consume large quantities of small bottom-dwelling prey, such as amphipods, copepods, shrimp, worms, fish eggs, and small fish, which the whales eat by turning on its side and scooping up sediments from the sea floor before filtering the sand, grit, and other sediment back through the baleen. However, gray whales are also known to regularly feed planktonically upon plankton, krill, and mysis shrimp. Gray whales are themselves preyed upon by orcas and rarely by great white sharks, reaching some 36 to 50 feet or 11 to 15.2 meters in length and 88,000 to 100,000 pounds or 40,000 to 50,000 kilograms in weight. Gray whales have a dark slate gray color that is covered by characteristic gray-white patterns, which are scars left by parasites that drop off in its cold feeding grounds. Notable features that distinguish the gray whale from other mysticetes include its baleen, which is variously described as cream, off-white, or blonde in color, and is unusually short. The gray whale also lacks a dorsal fin, instead bearing 6 to 12 dorsal crenulations, which are raised bumps on the midline of its rear quarter, leading to the flukes. The tail itself is deeply notched at the center, while its edges taper to a point. The breeding behavior is complex and often involves three or more animals meeting up to mate as a group, and individual gray whales will participate in such events multiple times in a given breeding season. After a 13.5-month pregnancy, a mother gray whale will give birth to a single calf. The young will remain there by their mother's side for around 7 to 9 months. Under real conditions, a gray whale will reach temperature around 8 to 9 years and may live upwards of 70. As always, take care of my guys, gals, non binary pals. Happy Pride Month!